attitude, focus, and perspective. Tell us about those three words and why they're so important and how you work them into the book and into everything that you do.
Right. I actually give people, when I see them, a little wristband saying attitude, focus, and perspective. What I find is that if you've got a problem, any problem, whether it's a life and death problem or just an every day-to-day problem, if you re-emphasize on one of these three things, keeping a positive attitude, focusing on your faith, or looking at things with a little different perspective, will help with how you deal with it. So kind of for instance, had a patient come in to see me one day. First thing in the morning, he was all worked up and in a tizzy, and I'm like, well, what's the matter, sir? And he's like, well, I'm just having an awful day. It's a bad day. And I'm like, well, tell me, what's the matter? And he goes, well, you know, while he was coming here, some goofball ran him off the road on the freeway. And he's just having an awful day, and I'm like, well, let's reemphasize
Right.
attitude, focus, and perspective. So let's pick one of those, sir. So actually, attitude. So actually, you're not having a bad day. You're actually having a good day. Actually, I think you're having a great day because a little mini miracle happened to you out there on the freeway. And maybe there wasn't a parting of the waters, but there was a parting of the cars, enough that you avoided an accident.
You avoided.
And now you're here seeing me, and it doesn't get much better than that. When I was developing this process, I do find that this not only works for me, it works for other people around me. As a gentleman came in to see me one day. And normally he's very lively and jovial and big smile on his face. And one day he comes in and he's all sad and anxious and worked up. And I'm like, well, what's the matter? And he's like, well, he just found out that his daughter was diagnosed with ovarian cancer. And he just doesn't know how to deal with the situation. So at the time, I was kind of developing this process, and so I said, well, let's give this a try. So I told him about the attitude, focus, and perspective. Well, okay, I gave him a prescription for a little bit of Xanax too, just to be on the safe side.
That helps.
So he goes off. A few weeks later, he comes back in to see me, and he's back to his old self. And I'm like, well, wow, this is great. Your daughter must be doing better. And he said, well, actually, she's doing worse. But he really took what I said to heart, and he hardly actually took any of the Xanax, but the attitude, focus, and perspective has really made a difference for him, and he's just looking at things different and made some plans and everything, and things were much better. And so I do encourage people to give it a try.